into a mana crypt, into a first turn cannon. Welcome to Cardboard Content, where we aim to develop our skills and grow the competitive Commander community. Hey guys, it's me, Benedict. Thank you for joining us on another week here. We have 2 matches for you guys today, but before that, I have a little request. If I could get your guys' assistance in hitting that goal of 500, we would greatly appreciate your assistance. Throw on a few of those playlists I have also to get that watch hour up. I would greatly appreciate that. Our next event is lined up for June 22nd. Still ironing out some details on that. More information coming soon. Without further delay, here is our game. Starting us off, we have Kevin playing Rocco and mulling down to 6. Then second, we have Anthony on Teferi, mulling down to 4. Then we have Xavier on Atraxa, mulling down to 5. And Richard playing Sicily Wernog, keeping an opening hand of 5. Kevin's up to bat first. He plays Flooded Strand into a Savannah, and then plays Esper Sentinel, passing the turn to Anthony. On Anthony's turn, he plays Island, casts Sensei's Divining Top, triggers Esper Sentinel, Kevin draws, and then he passes turn to Xavier. Xavier plays Tropical Island, and then passes turn to Richard. Richard just plays a Flooded Strand, and then passes turn to Kevin. On Kevin's turn, he plays a Marsh Flats, then moves into combat, attacking Richard for 1. Corrects the fetch line for a Plateau. On Anthony's turn, he plays an Island, then casts Transmute Artifact, triggering Esper Sentinel, and then sacrifices the top to Transmute Artifact. Then taps Mana Vault for 3 mana, casts Voltaic Key. With the floating mana, he untaps Mana Vault and then passes turn. On Xavier's turn, he plays a Bloodstained Mire, and then passes to Richard. Richard responds at end step by cracking his Flooded Strand. Xavier responds by cracking his Bloodstained Mire, getting a Scrubland, and casting a Archivist of Agama. Richard fetches, Xavier gains life and draws a card. And then Richard casts Vampiric Tutor, triggers Esper Sentinel, triggering Archivist again, and draws another card and gains a life. On Richard's turn, he plays a Mana Crypt, triggers Esper Sentinel, Kevin draws again. He exiles Simian Spirit Guide for a red mana, then casts the One Ring. Taps the One Ring, draws a card, and then casts Mox Opal. On Kevin's turn, he plays a Sacred Foundry, takes 2, plays a Cruel Mox, exiling a Simian Spirit Guide, then casts Rocco for 1. Tutors up a Delighted Halfling, then triggers Archivist, and Xavier draws 1. He passes turn to Anthony. On Anthony's turn, he plays a Consider, triggers Esper Sentinel, pays for it, and then plays a Gemstone Mine, passes turn to Xavier. On Xavier's turn, he casts Dark Ritual, triggers Esper Sentinel, Kevin draws, then he plays Talion, and goes into combat and attacks Anthony for 2. On Richard's turn, he rolls for Mana Crypt, loses 1 life during his upkeep to the One Ring, taps it during his upkeep to draw 2, then plays the Ancient Tomb, and then plays Rhystic Study, triggering Esper Sentinel. Kevin draws. On Kevin's turn, he plays a Plains, then casts a Unconquerable Vivian of the Hunt, triggering Rhystic Study. Rocco gets sacrificed with Vivian, gets a Felidar Guardian, which triggers Archivist, blinks the Vivian, activates Vivian again, sacrificing the Felidar, which gets him a Karmic Guide, triggers Archivist again, which brings back the Felidar. Felidar blinks Vivian again, Kevin sacrifices the Felidar again, which gets Kiki Jiki, triggers Archivist again. Kiki Jiki comes into play, copies Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide's ETB brings back Felidar, which blinks Kiki again. And then Kevin repeats this process by targeting Felidar Guardian and making 1,000,000 Felidar Guardians and attacking the entire table. Good job, Kevin. Good job to you, Kevin, for pulling out that fast win. If you guys thought that was fast, wait till you watch this one. First up, we have Tyler playing Breya with an opening hand of 7. Then we have Kale on Kenan, also with 7. Kevin with Rocco, also with an opening hand of 7. And then we have Corbin playing Evelyn with an opening hand of 4. Tyler starts us off by playing Scrubland and then passing the turn. Kale starts us off by playing a Prismatic Vista, getting an island, then playing a Soul Ring, then casting Simic Signet into a Mana Crypt into a first turn cannon. We move on to Kevin's turn. He plays Mana Confluence, then casts Delighted Halfling and passes turn to Corbin. On Corbin's turn, he plays a Polluted Delta, cracks it for an Underground Sea, and passes turn to Tyler. On Tyler's turn, he shocks in a Watery Grave, and then casts Chain of Vapor, targeting Cannon. Kale responds with a Force of Will, pitching Swan Song. We move on to Kale's turn. He rolls for Mana Crypt, and then casts a Basalt Monolith. Basalt Monolith resolves, he casts Arcane Signet, then casts Dimensional Infiltrator. Dimensional Infiltrator resolves, he activates the ability and exiles everyone's deck turn 2. Good job, Kale. Endgame summation on that first match. Kevin beautifully timed. Everyone seemed like they mulliganed down hard. Probably try to get a draw engine there, but having a draw engine and then a tutor like Rocco in the command zone, very advantageous to you. Good job again. Kale, I mean, could you have done it any faster? Where's the turn 1 win? Good job to you again on that. Looks like Tyler was the only one who had some type of interaction to slow you down or attempt to stop you, but you having the counter backup, kudos to you. Thank you again to everyone who attended the event. The event went very well. Next event, we're hoping to aim for a full capacity of 60 or 64 people. Hopefully next time, hopefully we get that 64 or 60 people to lock in that gold event through topdeck.gg. More information on them down below. Down below, our social media, our Shopify link. Please follow us there. While you're down there, might as well hit that subscribe button and watch a few other playlists after this video. I could use some of those watch hours as well. If you want to support the channel other ways, we have our Patreon, like these guys. Now for our charitable patrons. Our Tier 2 content consumers, thank you. Aaron at 4, Big Yoda at 4, Lex at 2, Marcus at 2, and Dylan and Troy. Moving on to our top tier, Tier 3 cardboard cutouts. We have Wong at 6, Matt at 6, and Albert at 5. Now with more joiner. Much obliged. If you would like to also support the channel, patreon.com/cardboardcontent. See you next time for more content.